Mind Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor and none of this is financial advice, and none of the information provided in this video should ever be seen as a signal to buy or to sell. Please remember to subscribe, hit that like button, drop me a comment. You'd be doing me a massive favor. But first and foremost, let's look at these crypto bubbles looking a bit greener today. Although Quant has lost 3 ranks and we are now sitting at 72, which I'm not bothered about because this happened previously in the last bull run. We lost some positions but then regained them as we had that big run. The market cap at the moment is 1.37 billion with a quant price of $113 and a 24-hour volume of $39 million. Currently, we're up 0.8% in the hour, down 1.7% in the day, and down 20% in the week. And what we'd notice is quite a few of the utility coins dropped quite a lot over the last couple of days. But as you know, I'm here for the long term. Now, I see this from Confidential. Now, this should start us off with the news today and the dots that are connected. Confidential here. You know you can't buy a token from Corda, Hyperledger Fabric, Hyperledger Besu, Quorum, or DAML, etc. What if I told you can invest in all of them at the same time? And he says quant. And this leads me to Mr. Crypto Must. Hyperledger's chosen method of interoperability is quant. Hyperledger's chosen method of interoperability is using Quant Network's Overledger, which uses API gateways. Whenever you see Hyperledger Fabric or Hyperledger Besu, no quant is likely involved for the purposes of interoperability. And we can actually see this on the Hyperledger website. And you can see here, the brief analysis above points to clear conclusion. API gateways have significant advantages over the other approaches. And it was for this reason that Quant chose the API gateway model for Overledger, our own solution to the challenge of interoperability. Developed by a team highly experienced in enterprise security and national level critical systems, Overledger is built on research that began as a collaboration with UCL and now provides a secure, simple, and cost-effective API connection to all major DLTs, a robust enterprise-grade solution. Overledger is easily integrated with multiple DLTs, including Hyperledger Fabric and Hyperledger Besu, and Quant is constantly expanding the list of supported DLTs. Now, we also see here today, Overledger is helping unlock the potential of DLTs in major projects across the world. One of the most ambitious of these projects is LACChain, an alliance led by Inter-American Development Bank. Operating across the Latin American and Caribbean region, LACChain is already having demonstrable positive social impact, and the consortium has developed a roadmap that will ultimately lead to the interconnection of regional DLT ecosystems. So as we can see there, Hyperledger Fabric and Hyperledger Besu and Quant constantly expanding. So really positive. But we also then see some evidence here from Sam. This was back in 2022. Hyperledger is open source. Quant partly is closed source. Who doesn't care? Oracle platform based on Hyperledger Fabric, LACChain platform on Hyperledger Besu, and Sia and Nexi, which is Corda, ETH, and Fabric. Even Hyperledger themselves doesn't care, and it's not black and white as he says here. And you can see this, Hyperledger, congratulations Quant Network on this well-deserved recognition, which is the most disruptive fintech awards. And then we see this, Hyperledger Universal DLT interoperability is now practical reality. Quant Network by Hyperledger. And we can also see this. This is from Hyperledger Foundation. I know for a fact Quant Network will have most of the global supply chain on it. Wow, that's quite a big statement as well. We also see this from Gilbert Verdian. We actually are quite close to IBM, Hyperledger, and Quilt teams on an individual level. We've solved interoperability in a unique way by abstracting the complexity of infrastructure and DLT networks. Our approach is unique and, from our experience, much more easy to work with. 3 lines of code and in 8 minutes. The other approaches are not as simple to adopt or implement. Now, this then leads me on to this tweet here. Very in depth. As we can see, Hyperledger launches Besu blockchain financial services working group as Citi joins. And we can see this today. Hyperledger Foundation, the enterprise grade blockchain ecosystem, announced 2 new members, Citi, and Brazilian Development Bank. Additionally, it unveiled a new Hyperledger Besu financial services working group. Besu is popular Ethereum blockchain client that targets enterprise users and works with public and private Ethereum blockchains. And we can see here Hyperledger Besu advances their fintech ecosystem as it seems LackChain is at the heart of it. Today, we got two exciting drops from Hyperledger. Citi and Brazil Development Bank joins Hyperledger Besu Financial Services. These are similar to what we've seen by Quant with regards to their work with LackChain, the largest use of Hyperledger Besu yet. While these two additions to Hyperledger ecosystem might just look like new members, the truth is that it runs much deeper. When looking at the history of LackChain's work, we can see that they connected with both of these prior. Brazilian Central Bank MOU in 2020 and Citi for tokenized payments in 2021. And we can see these just in here. The IDB backed LackChain tokenized Citi payments partnered with Overledger. And we can see here the Brazilian Central Bank. Welcome to the alliance, LackChain. We also know that Citi plays a vital role in remittance corridors of the LATAM dollar that Quant is helping to build. It really seems like these two new additions to the Hyperledger consortium is completely revolved around advancements made by LackChain. And we now look to Hyperledger Besu Financial Services Working Group member list. We see the same sort of connections. This board is nothing short of amazing. And as you can see, the board here, we got the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, which is the DTCC. We've got Essential, which we've talked about in the past. We've got the Central Bank of Brazil, Citi. We've got the JSCC. We've got LACNet, MasterCard, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, Santander, Vanguard, Visa, Consensus, and many, many more. So this is looking absolutely huge. From payment providers, asset managers, central banks, and more, all partaking in Besu working group. It really appears that enterprises and governments are beginning to focus on Hyperledger Besu now. What's also interesting is that we also know many of these entities are also linked to Quant in various ways. MasterCard and Visa have both tested CBDC frameworks utilizing SATP, Overledger. Citi and LACNet are core pieces to the collaboration with Quant and LackChain. Monetary Authority Singapore has also shown their compliance to SATP in Project Ubin. We also know Brazil is participating member of ISO TC 307, thus their central bank conforms to the DLT standards under ISO, and we can see that just in here. In Quant's article from Fast Company, there was also a specific focus on LackChain. For whatever reason, they decided to specifically name drop Brazil when discussing LATAM's DLT potential. Now, this could be completely random, but we also know that Quant has a thing for leaving subtle hints. And when we look at LackChain's GitHub, we connect those trail of hints further to the truth. We can see that BNDES nodes are set up for LackChain and the region of Brazil. In fact, it even states that the network architecture for these nodes are under public permission standards of ISO TC 307. This is also no surprise given that we know LackChain has just joined Class A liaison to ISO TC 307 in Q4 of last year. Any entity that participates in LackChain will now have to conform to those same standards. The largest public permission DLT deployment in history is only growing bigger and bigger. 99% don't see this massive growth within LackChain, and I absolutely agree. All we have to do is connect those dots and start to see through all what's going on. I also see this from Ultra Quamfi, RLN on Rosalind's APIs. What does it make you think? Generally interesting. This is where we see this from Ledger Insights. Citi unveils tokenized deposits for institutional trade cash. Today, Citi unveiled two digital asset solutions under the umbrella of Citi Token Services. Both services target institutions. One is a pilot for tokenized deposits, enabling organizations to move money between Citi branches worldwide and 24/7. The other is a trade solution that provides smart contracts based bank guarantees that was piloted in collaboration with Maersk. The trade application used smart contracts to trigger an instant payment using tokenized deposits. Citi founder and RLN, a multi-bank collaboration for digital assets, tokenized deposits, and CBDCs. However, Citi Token Services is separate and complements the RLN work. Citi Token Services provides corporate treasurers with a new tool to manage global liquidity on just an in-time programmable basis, said Ryan Rugg, Global Head of Digital Assets at Citi Treasury and Trade Solutions. The bank emphasized that this operates on a permissioned Citi network and clients don't have to host blockchain nodes to participate. One takeaway of RLN was that current legal framework supports the adoption of DLT. That said, US banks have to get a non-objection letter from their regulator to participate in DLT and digital asset initiatives. In the blockchain world, several solutions are rolling out to enable banks and corporates to move money around the world and manage liquidity globally. So this is looking ever so exciting, especially when we look at what's going on with Citi at the moment and Hyperledger Besu and Hyperledger Fabric. We are just connecting the dots, hoping for absolutely huge things to come out in the news at some point. So there you go, guys. Just a quick update. Please remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit that like button. You'd be doing me a massive favor. All the best, and I'll catch you later.